All right, are you ready to wake up your creative and more at peace side? It can be done apparently in less than 10 steps. That's all according to this book, a new book out, Tranquilista, Mastering the Art of Enlightened Work and Mindful Play. Kimberly Wilson wrote it, and she joins me now. How are you, Kimberly?
I'm great, thank you.
Now, this all began basically backing up from the book. You had one of the top yoga studios, still do, called Tranquil Space, right?
Tranquil Space, yes.
So it started from that. You obviously had a lot of inner peace to bring that to a lot of people. A blog, and eventually a book. In between there, you made a foundation. Tell me what that was about.
Yeah, so the yoga studios actually started in my living room in 1999, and the foundation grew out in 2006. So just the idea of how to continue to take the yoga practice off the mat and into the world and do more and really make a difference.
Some people hear yoga studio and think, you know, that's great that people can find their inner peace. Maybe this isn't for me, but somehow in your book you want to bring that to people. Definitely. How do you find that trick to convince them they can be peaceful and a little less stressed?
Right. Well, it's the small steps. You know, it's the little things that you can do every day. By deep breathing, by sipping your tea, it's adding a little more mindfulness. And in this book, the first chapter is all about spirituality. It's called Sassy Spirituality.
Nice.
It makes it a little more fun. And the idea is just you can find your spiritual touch in nature. You can find it in journal writing and as I said, sipping tea. So it's really whatever appeals to you and can help you go within, which ultimately, ideally, will lead to more tranquility and less stress.
So through your foundation that you formed basically once again in your living room, right, with friends?
Yeah.
You are helping an array of groups from teenagers, and you give grant money. Is that how it's done?
Well, we do two things. We do programming, so we take yoga, creativity, and leadership curriculum that we created to girls 9th through 12th grade. And then we're actually expanding to Tranquil Women this year, so we're going to offer it up to adults also. And that launches May 2nd at the studio.
Have you ever met anyone that grant money has gone to?
Yes. Well, I haven't met the people. I've met the founders of the organizations, and they've come and told the stories. Because some of this money has gone to cooperatives in Guatemala to help them make their art. And so it ranges from women around the world, actually, that we're helping to kind of nurture and express their creative side. And then also one really neat organization that's local that we donated to is called Running Start, and that helps to get teenage girls involved in politics.
Do you think it's a matter of actually for someone to really be at peace with themselves and feel a little bit better? Is it a matter of, you know, doing that yoga, or actually getting out there and helping others and having those relations beyond your inner circle, stepping out of your comfort zone?
It's a huge combination of all the above. And then I think people can put in the kind of portions that speak to them most. So for some people, it will be just practicing asana, and that's going to make them feel good and ultimately be a better person because they're just more in touch with who they are. For others, their yoga is like getting out into the world and forming a nonprofit or writing a blog that helps people learn how to go green in small ways, such as composting. So, you know, really, all these things can help you bring a little more tranquility into your own life and ultimately others' lives.
So you've got the yoga studio, you did the blog, you did the foundation. It's turned into a book now that's just hitting shelves. How do you're giving all this advice out, but how do you step back and go, take a deep breath, you know, and just chill?
Yeah. Well, I'm back from 2 retreats. I spent a week in Puerto Vallarta learning how to do visual journaling. And then last week, I was up at Kripalu, a retreat center, learning about mindfulness and studying Buddhism. So I make sure that I get out there and continue to replenish my well.
Do you ever just want to take a break from reality?
Yeah, and I do. I went to Paris last year for 10 days and just indulged in the eye candy that Paris is. And, you know, so it is. But to me, this whole book and this whole notion is really, it's a lifestyle. So it's not like separating your work life from your home life, from your hobbies. To me, it's like, how can you blend it all together so you have a really cohesive existence and then you don't feel quite so compartmentalized?
I think that's the hard part, especially for women.
Definitely.
Mothers, people staying at home, and then they want to have, you know, a life with their husband, or working, and then you get home and you're with your children. What would you recommend, something small for someone to do if they can't start their own foundation? They can't travel.
Yeah, no, I actually have a few clients I work with who struggle with this exact issue. And one of the things that we've worked together on is getting up a little earlier to start writing that novel that they're dreaming of, or doing it while their children are napping. You know, so it's like small things and creating small goals that they can do and work around their life choices, their schedules that have been created maybe by their children's sleep schedules.
Yeah, you feel like really there's not enough time in the day anymore for things.
There's a lot of people think I need one more day in the week, and we all do, but we would fill it with something else. So it's like how to make sure that ideally we're blending as much of what our values are with how we're spending our time.
Has this worked for moms? Have you heard any feedback yet for, you know, your 10 steps? Have people said, wow, this has changed me?
Not yet for moms, but you know, this book is just hitting the shelf. So I'll have to, I'll get back to you. I'll let you know.
That could be part 2, right?
Yeah, exactly.
The name of the book again right here, Tranquilista. I like the cover. Kimberly Wilson, I hope it does well. Thanks for joining us. All right, coming up, the artwork of 2 famous sisters. We'll tell you all about the masterpieces from the Davis collection. It's going to be on display soon. Also, there's some of it right there. Email us. We want to hear from you. We'll be right back.